Zi-O.
They ended good. But first off, let's talk about Zi-O.
All right, let's talk about it. So, how'd you feel about this week's episode?
This week's episode was cool. It was cool only at the sense we get to see what happens in the mirror world, and we get to see Ryuki's characters. That is a Kamen Rider series I'm gonna go back and watch because the designs of the characters and everything is pretty dope. Mm-hmm. But it was really cool with this episode that we're getting closer and closer to seeing our team, our main team, unified and not divided anymore.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it in the beginning of the, they even mentioned in the show in the beginning of the season, Gates did not care anything for Sougo. Mm-hmm. For anything he was saying, anything he was doing, he didn't believe that he was different than Zi-O, right? Mm. But in this episode, a lot of the decisions that him and that they were making was like, oh, what would Sougo do? What would Sougo do? Yeah. How would Sougo handle this? So yeah, Gates is finally seeing I don't want to say the error of his ways, but he's being a little more open-minded to Sugo's approach to how to do things. And we got to see a little bit of the interaction between him, the both of them together. But another fun thing that we got to see in this episode is first off, because you haven't been here the first few days. What do you think about the names of the new Wazes?
Oh, Black Waz and White Waz?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I find it hilarious.
Yeah?
But I love the fact that Black Waz is pretty much good Waz. I'm like, I'm okay with this.
Okay.
Won't call racism right now. Let's keep it going.
What did you think? So you were introduced to the third rider now, the new Waz. What do you think about him?
Low key though, I'm liking some of the stuff they're doing here, but I'm cautious though because remember when we first started watching the series, I was like all on board for it. I was like, oh, I'm so excited for the series and for the potential of it.
It's time travel.
Exactly, but as we continued on, it's like I was like, ooh, they kind of took some wrong turns. I didn't appreciate what they were doing, and so now with these new Wazes, I'm like, you know what? I like the fact that we getting divergent timelines because again, that's a nice time travel thing that you got to do. And then
time out. Super chat! Ukiya Senpai sent us some pesos. Without spoiling much, I'm so glad that the writers stuck with how the original TV series ended and respected Ryuki's alternate timelines.
Yeah.
So what? Yeah.
So going to Ukiya Senpai, I like that a lot in this episode because Loki reminded me of Star Trek when they do the mirror universe and everything like that. I was like, oh, okay, this is fun and everything like that. Acknowledging alternate realities, and that's some stuff you can do in time travel. So I like that. If you don't know,
the another writer in this series is from a Kamen Rider movie. The mode is from a Kamen Rider movie, so that means that it's canon. It's canon to the story.
Kind of like when we talk about Lupin later, there was something popped up from a movie that became part of canon. So
I didn't know that part. We'll get to it later.
So I like the black and white Wazes. I like the fact we get divergent timelines. What I really like is the future riders.
Yes.
Like that Shinobi rider. I was like, oh, this dude is so dope. Dude, can he stay?
That arc, when they did that arc, I was like, oh. It's gonna get good.
Exactly.
And then they went back.
But then Gates started getting respect all of a sudden. I was like, look at this. Gates is stepping up. He's no longer Yamcha. He might get a Piccolo. Not a Vegeta yet. He might get a Piccolo. And he was just getting better and better. He actually beat Sougo one time. I was like, this is crazy. But then as we got to today's episode, though, you know what? This series low-key is starting to remind me a lot of X-Men because there's a lot of infighting. Because when you made that comment about them coming together, I was thinking about the end of this episode and how they were talking about how he's closer to becoming the Emperor now.
Yeah.
The Overlord, and how they put him on this path and how they feel like they have to defeat him now. I'm like, oh, okay. This show feels like there's a lot more infighting versus them being a team to me.
Well, now with the introduction of with the Mirror Sougo, there's a lot of inner turmoil in his head, and that's definitely gonna see when they first introduced us to Sougo, and then they had the you saw what Into the Future and who he was to become. It's like it's so black and white.
Yeah.
But with the introduction of Mirror Sougo and him kind of debating with himself as far as his intentions, I can see now how he might turn into Zi-O. But
exactly, with the merging of the light and the dark coming together, which I kind of liked because I was a little bit worried at first. It's like, oh, so Mirror Sougo just might leave him out there, and they might do a storyline where it's Mirror Sougo who takes down our main Sougo and then becomes the Overlord. Ooh. But instead, they just merged them together and was like, no,
so
you have to accept your light and your dark come together.
A little bit more complex. It makes him a little bit more complex. One cool introduction is to the new watch.
Yeah.
Dang.
I like the new watch.
Japan really knows how to sell products.
They make toys. They make some
toys. It seems like they spit them out super quick.
Really fast. Really fast.
Unless they had these like in design like even before they released the show. But yeah, what do you think about this new watch?
I was on board with it because again, I love it how it plays with the whole merging of like the light and the dark. The fact that the light wouldn't work without the dark and everything like that until they came together. So I like that. I like the new form. The new form was kind of beast.
Man.
Like that final attack when he hits him with the giant sword. I was like, oh, give him that work,
dude.
Give him that work.
That fight scene, he was just like. That dude didn't even stand a chance.
No, it low-key reminded me of like a Bleach squash match in a way.
Yeah.
Like anybody fans of like anime out there who watched Bleach before, a big sword-based anime, it kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah. Dude, he looks so cool. And then, I mean, eventually Gates is gonna get his mode too. But
yeah, which I'm so looking forward to.
Right now,
the fact he has those 2 future watches right now, and when he gets that third one, yeah.
Doesn't Waz has them though, right?
No, so remember, every time they encounter the future rider, they take the watch. So right now he has 2, and he needs to get a third one. And so we've gotten 2, so we got to wait for another future rider.
What do you think of Quiz?
Okay, Shinobi was on point. Quiz, when I first looked at him, I was like, I really like that question mark on his head. Yeah. Like, I like the whole design of his helmet because it's like the black and gold, the question mark. I was like, I'm on board for this. The X's and O's kind of weirded me out a little bit, but overall, I really liked him. And then I like the fact we got to know his character. Like, he went in the house and hung with them. They were playing quiz games. He's actually smart. I was like, dude, you actually established continuity for this, which is super dope.
Ooh, super chat. Red Blue Blur. He says, welcome back, Johnny. Your thoughts on the Lightning Collection. Yeah, real quick, what did you think about the Lightning Collection?
The Lightning Collection? Remind me.
It's the new Hasbro Power Ranger toys.
Oh, I haven't seen them yet.
Oh yeah, we'll show them to him after the show.
For sure. So when I take a look at them, I'll give him my thoughts. Thanks, Red Blue
He'll hit you up
Happy
on
to be back.
Hashtaggers. But yeah, one other cool thing about this was the what do you call it? Just the new Future Rider that's gonna come up is actually gonna be the actor that's gonna play him is Zamigo.
Really?
Yeah. That's what Justin said.
Dope.
Is that the next one? Yeah, that's Amigo.
Oh, cool.
Look at him.
It is Amigo. It's funny. He looks different without the white hair.
The other future riders are actually from Super Sentai. Different characters from Super Sentai. So that's really cool. I like the future Sentai future riders aspect of it. But when they go back to like the another riders from the past, it just gets a little clunky.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a little clunky.
Because the problem with it is, though, as I've said this before, when you look at other time travel series who kind of do a little bit better, they know how to go to the past, fill you in what's happened on the past, and kind of pay homage to it at the same time.
Yeah.
With this one, they do a lot of like assuming you know stuff.
Yeah.
You have to go out and do your own research. But when they do the future riders, they literally take the time to fill you in on their personality past, which is awesome. Like again with Quiz, I felt genuinely bad for Quiz about how his mother was sick, about his origin story and everything like that. I was invested in the character. With the Shinobi one too, I was like, oh, he just wants to stand up for his friends. He wants to get strong for himself. He was.
Shinobi was dope. I mean, even White Waz is cool too. He's a little more complex, but the suit's pretty cool. He's more of like an Apple Watch versus like an analog watch, you know?
And what I like about White Watch too is like the fact he kind of bullies the time jackers, so he messes with them all the time because he's like,
it throws them off, dude, because they don't know what to do. They honestly don't know what to do. I thought they got it down by pulling someone outside of the timeline as another rider. But now, they're still stuck in the same spot that they were on before. I mean, it's getting better. It's decent. It's definitely better than the first few episodes. But I'm still intrigued to see what happens. I do hope that the girl gets a belt too.
Me too. My God. Because here's the thing. Like, I was looking at her, and Dan, could you put that thing on the screen where it shows the characters' names, please? So when I was looking at her, like, I was like, dude, like, I'm really worried about you because Tsukiyomi, I don't want her to become a Sakura. Like, Sakura's like from Naruto, she's like this character who like gets joked around being useless. And I'm like, dude, you are an interesting character. You are actually one of the better actresses on this show. And so here's the thing, though, I want you to get your respect. I need her to get a belt or something because right now she doesn't serve a purpose. Because like, as I was thinking about this, like with Build, at some point in time, everyone in Build served a purpose.
Except for?
Yeah, the Spy Girl.
Yeah.
Which we always crack jokes on. But here, there's a lot of people where I'm just like, you're not really doing that much right now. And so that's the thing.
I do want Decade to come back, though. I feel like
Decade was legit. Decade held him down. I like the fact he wasn't defeated. He just can like pop up whenever he wants.
He just left whenever he wants.
Yeah.
What did you think? What was your initial thoughts when Gates perished, I guess.
I kind of had a feeling because again it's time travel, so I was like, they can probably rewind this or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I did like the fact that Gates' character is becoming more of this hero aspect now. So developing that more, he's like, no, I need to put my life on the line. I need to be a hero. So I love the fact he's like stepping into that now. That was
what do you think about Gates having a destiny now too? Though
I was so excited because I was tired of this dude getting disrespected. Like it's become one of these things where we kind of talked about it on like Lupat 10 episodes earlier.
Yeah.
If you just do some of these things like a few episodes earlier, it just makes it that much better. And so with that one, I was just like, had they done this like maybe 5 to 6 episodes earlier, I would be like, Gates would have got so much redemption.
It's gonna be dope.
Exactly, but it's happening
cool.
now.
It's cool that both of them has a Waz.
Exactly.
And then Waz in this episode kind of gets his mojo back because before he was kind of like, oh fuck this guy, you know, he's coming in here making me look bad, but it's cool.
And what I really want to see is I want to see Black Waz get a belt too.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Maybe he becomes another future writer or something.
Exactly, because low-key, what was cracking me up was the fact that these belts are so accessible. Like, it was like as soon as when Sougo destroys his, he
like,
sacrifices his future. He was like, I got another one on this pillow. Like, where are you just getting these belts from like
They'll
this?
probably explain it when they go back to the future again. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this season goes. We're barely halfway through it. But you did win a bet with Justin.
Oh yes, I know.
So the next time.
Oh yes, I know.
The next time you guys are on a show together.
Oh yes.
You need to find those sauces.
Oh
bro.
yes. Trust me. So
Dude.
we will have a whole because I've been watching. What's it now? Have you ever watched Hot Ones?
Yeah, definitely.
The interview show.
Yeah.
So I'm literally going to go out and get 10 hot sauces, and we're going to have lined up 30 wings, 10 for each of us.
Yep.
And as we do the episode, we're just going to knock them out one at a time.
So just let us know next time you have a little break in your little work schedule.
I will.
And we're gonna go kill Justin.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so I mean, what would you give this episode?
On a scale of, so what are we doing out of 5 rider watches?
Out of 5, yeah.
Out of 5 rider watches, I like the build up. I like the twist at the end. I like the upgrade of the armor. I like where the story is going. However, I still feel like we need a little bit more. Like, here's the thing. Like, as I was watching this, because remember in Build, they felt like friends. They felt like a family. And so a lot of times, like with Gates here saying like, "Oh, I care about Sougo," Sougo's like, "I care about Gates. We're friends." I'm like, I don't see it. You say it a lot.
How about
once
they break down that wall?
So once they break down that wall, it'll be a lot better. But so right now, I'm going to give this episode, it's not bad, but I'm going to give it probably like a 3.5 out of 5.
I'll give it a 3.5 as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll give it. We're on board. So you guys, hit us up with what your score is, and we'll read it. But you guys, oh my god. It's going to be a bumpy ride, definitely.
It will be. It so will be.